Hi guys, it's Molly here, and today I'll be doing my top 10 favorite books of 2015. It's been such a great reading year for me. This is the year that I started to get active on BookTube. It's been a really fun ride, really. So yeah, let me just show you guys my top 10 picks for this year, and this is all based on this weird rating system I did. So the top 10 rated books on my list, those are the books that I'm going to be showing you. So yeah, coming in at number 1 are actually 3 books that I rated the same rating, which I think I gave 4.8 out of 5, and one of it is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. This book, I love this book so much, mostly because I can relate to the main character a lot. I feel like she is me when I'm gonna be 30. The things that she learns are things that you can actually apply to your own life, and I really love that. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna read the second book yet because this one was perfect, but I definitely would want to someday, because I feel like because I can relate and connect to the main character so much that probably reading the second one would help me grow as well. So I really love that. And of course, this was one of the books that I cried in really bad. The next one I gave the highest rating is of course Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas. I still think this is the best out of the other books in the series, and I even reread it this year. So I read this book twice this year. I really love this book because of the plot, of all the suspense, and even the romance and everything. And this will definitely be one of the books that I want to reread from the series. Like, I would probably just read this book out of all the other books because I love this one a lot. And the third book, I don't actually have a copy of it with me, but it is The Apple Tart of Hope by Sarah Moore Fitzgerald. I don't have a copy anymore because I gave it away. That book is about a boy named Oscar. He goes missing one day. People think he committed suicide, but there are people who believe in him, his friends, who think that, you know, he wouldn't do something like that. So they are out to search for him. But this book, it's just so much more than that because I can relate to one of the characters so well. So I think this one, it would kind of depend on your own experience, whether you'd like it or not. But it's a middle grade book, and by the end of it, you'll feel so warm inside and you'll feel like you want to make apple tarts right away. And it's just, oh, it's so lovely. I can't even describe it. I don't know why I love that book so much, but I just really do. And it's a really underrated book, and I'm making a lot of people read it, and some of them really loved it and some of them didn't really like it that much. So I guess it'd have to be on personal preferences as well. So yeah. The next 4 books are rated 4.7, and the first one is Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. I love this book so much. I guess I really like the characters in it, and the guy in it is really swoon-worthy, and he's perfect, and I'm just I'm still gushing about it. But basically this book was filled with a lot of fluffiness, and I guess I gushed a lot and giggled a lot while reading it. And it's one of those books that at the end of it, I'm just like, oh my god, I love this book so much, and I just have to wrangle with anyone who's read it, and I have to start recommending it to everyone. But yeah, I love this book a lot. And Cricket is bae. Cricket Bell is bae. Next is PSI So Love You by Jenny Han, which is a sequel to All the Boys I've Loved Before. It doesn't just talk about relationships and stuff like that. It also has a lot about family and friendship especially. I really like the aspect of friendship in this book. Of course, there are some flaws in it, but I guess overall, I just love how the story went. And although I am quite frustrated with the ending, I still think it was a really good book. And I was quite amazed by how Jenny Han can make you fall for one character, and then in this book she introduces another character and makes you fall in love with him even more, and I'm just like, why do you do this to me? And I love John Ambrose McLaren. He is my fictional boyfriend, and I love this book. I want to reread this next year, I think, because yeah, John Ambrose McLaren. The third one is a book that I currently don't have right now because I lent it to a junior, but it is The Assassin's Blade which is the prequel to The Throne of Glass, and it's consisted of 5 novellas inside. And I think I gave that a high rating because it has a lot of background story to the Throne of Glass books, because we don't actually know what happened to Selena before Throne of Glass, and sometimes it felt like a lot of things were missing while you read that. So once you read the Assassin's Blade, or if you read the Assassin's Blade first, you'll have a lot of understanding to why Selena Sadothian is how she is. And oh my god, I cried at the end. Oh my god. There's this one song that I can relate to that book, and it is Lionheart by Demi Lovato, and every time that song comes out, I'm just like drowning in feels again. And the final one I rated 4.7 is 10,000 Skies Above You. I think I've talked about this enough. I even made a review about it, and it's in my December wrap-up, so yeah, I don't need to talk about much for this one, except that the whole concept of dimension traveling is just so mind-blowing, and the plot and the characters are just so nice. And just go watch my review already. The next 3 books are all rated 4.6, and the first one is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. It is so magical, and I've just never thought about all these really magical things inside. It just feels like you're in this whole wonderful world, which is actually set in our world, and it's just, I don't know, it makes you want to join this circus, or at least be one of the people who goes to it. It's just, it was so realistic but not at the same time. I mean, as I was reading it, I actually felt like I was going through the circus. I could smell the popcorn. It's very well written. It's a bit slow at the start, but it gets really good, and by the end of the story, when you realize why it's been written that way, you'll get mind blown. Seriously, it's just like whoa, and you'll go back to the start and I don't know, reread a bit. I even wrote a review for this on my blog. You guys should check that out if you want. I think I'm gonna reread this someday. Maybe next year. Yeah, I would reread it next year. Next one is Champion by Marie Lu, which is the 3rd book in the Legend trilogy. I can't really remember how I felt about the whole trilogy, but I guess I thought this one was the best. I actually flipped through the last few chapters just now, and I realized that one of the reasons I really liked it was because it was kind of cliche and nice and fluffy at the end. A lot of people didn't like that, but for some reason I really did. It felt a bit of like a Nicholas Sparks kind of thing at the end happening, and it was kind of nice actually, because a lot happened in the first and second one, and it became more of a romance at the end, which I was really okay with, because they sort of settled the whole political stuff happening and stuff. But yeah, you guys should read this trilogy if you haven't. It is one of the nice dystopian trilogies out there. Like, some of them aren't very consistent. Like, the first one is good, and the second one was meh, and the third one was just really bad, aka Divergent and Maze Runner. But this is one of the ones that keeps building up and gets a lot better towards the end, and the ending is really nice. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. And the final one that makes my top 10 is Isla and the Happily Ever After. So you've heard me gushing about Lola and the Boy Next Door. Basically, it's the same thing for this one, but for this one, it's kind of different from Anna and Lola, because the romance sort of starts straight away. So this one's more about how relationships sort of stay rather than how relationships form. And I really like that. And at the end of the book, this is when all the characters from the first and second one comes in, and it's just really nice to see them all together, and it's really sad to see it ending. I wanted more from this book at the end as well, and it's really nice and bubbly. I do remember myself giggling a lot while reading this. So yeah, those are the top 10 books that I read this year. I think a lot of them are contemporary. I guess you can kind of tell that my favorite genre is YA, obviously, because most of these are YA books. But I do have like some adult books and some middle grade books there, so yeah, I think I do read other stuff too. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys had a wonderful reading year as well, and I really can't wait for 2016 and to read all of the other books that I have on my shelf. But yeah, I really can't wait, and I'll see you guys next year probably. Bye!